Hello friends, I'm Michelle Francesca, and in this video I'm going to talk about the call of beauty. This piece of poetry that I wrote recently called Beauty speaks about that. What is it that we're waiting for? What is it that we seek? Is it not beauty with her luminous glow, stirring our innermost being with movement, so subtle it cannot be comprehended? So passionate, we are changed by the breath we cannot grasp. Is it not the honesty of her touch, her caress in the center of our dulled, tired eyes that wakens us within and makes us erect and open to heaven, to love, and to what is real? And it is she who patiently waits for us to rise from our knees in our downtrodden wanderings, to look around and find her over our shoulder, before our faces, above the skies, in our bodies, beneath our feet. That which we seek is seeking us, to brush her ethereal hand o'er our lips, to cause us to drink from a source unseen and allow the honey of ecstasy to fill us. Though so fleetingly we sup from beauty's grace, when we do we are smitten, we're immersed in satisfaction. Fyodor Dostoevsky wrote in his novel, "Beauty will save the world," or words to that effect. Beauty will save the world. It's a concept. Some think it very ideological and completely, perhaps, pie in the sky idea of what will make a difference in our world going forward. But before beauty can even save the world, we first must honor beauty in our own worlds. And I want to pose the question to you today: are you making space in your world for beauty? Well, what do I mean by beauty? I don't mean glitz and glamour, even a physical appearance that lines up with an idea that we've created through magazine images or media images. No, none of that. Beauty is something much deeper, something much more refined, something that shows itself to us and touches us in a way that cannot be pinned down, boxed up, and especially not have a little bow on it. Are you making space in your world for beauty? Maybe you're making space in your world for thought and rumination, for discussion and learning. Maybe you're making space in your world for self-improvement, healing, religious or spiritual practices. And those things are good. But are you making space for beauty? In his book, Beauty, the Invisible Embrace, John O Donahue talks about the global crisis and the violation of beauty. He says all contemporary crises can be reduced to a crisis about the nature of beauty. And this perspective offers us new possibilities. In parched terrains, new wells can be discovered. When we address difficulties in terms of the call to beauty, new invitations come alive. Perhaps for the first time, we gain a clear view of how much ugliness we actually endure and allow. Much of the stress and emptiness that haunts us can be traced back to our lack of attention to beauty. Beauty is mostly made to seem naive and romantic, he writes, but beauty is not glamour. The beautiful offers us an invitation to order, coherence, and unity. And when these needs are met, the soul feels at home in the world. Have you ever had an experience when something beautiful touches your soul? A piece of art, a landscape, a conversation, a view, the sound of the wind in the trees, a forest, a tender touch, a look in someone's eyes, a smile, the way someone's hair was played with by the wind. There are so many ways that beauty shows herself to us. And when we experience that true beauty, we somehow feel like everything is right with the world. And I think the call of beauty is to allow for more of these kinds of moments in our lives. Moments that then may eventually stretch into hours, into days, into lifestyles, changing the whole face of our interaction with our world, with ourselves, with our perspective, with our goals, and what it is that we are actually striving for. As the beginning lines of the poem said, what is it that we're seeking for? What is it that we seek? Is it not beauty with her luminous glow, stirring our innermost being with movements so subtle it cannot be comprehended, and so passionate we're changed by the breath we cannot grasp? Yes, beauty is elusive. You cannot grasp it. You cannot bottle it up. You certainly can't sell it. True beauty is something that touches us. And yet it is not something that we can grasp, purchase, and organize into our life like other elements where it is entirely predictable, because as soon as we do that, it ceases to become beauty. And so the question, are we making space for beauty? We may be making space for all these things that make our life better, healing and spiritual practices, or religious meetings, or thought and study. But we might find that we have all the components for a better life, for a higher vibration, however you want to say it, but we're still missing something. And that something is beauty. We talked about the call of beauty, allowing for more of these moments in our lives so that we might begin to step into a life that truly feels aligned, a life that we truly feel at home in, and where there is more care and tenderness and spaciousness and alignment with ourselves. I want to read a little bit more about this idea of beauty from this beautiful book. The human soul is hungry for beauty, John O Donahue says. We seek it everywhere, in landscape, music, art, clothes, furniture, gardening, companionship, love, religion, and in ourselves. No one would desire not to be beautiful. When we experience the beautiful, there is a sense of homecoming. Some of our most wonderful memories are of beautiful places where we felt immediately at home. We feel most alive in the presence of the beautiful, for it meets the needs of our soul. For a while, the strains of struggle and endurance are relieved, and our frailty is illuminated by a different light in which we come to glimpse, behind the shudder of appearances, the sure form of things. In the experience of beauty, we awaken and surrender in the same act. Beauty brings a sense of completion and sureness. Without any of the usual calculation, we can slip into the beautiful with the same ease as we slip into the seamless embrace of water. Something ancient within us already trusts that this embrace will hold us. I love that. Without any of the usual calculation, we can slip into the beautiful, and there's something in us that already trusts that this embrace of the beautiful will hold us. How true. This is why we must begin to make room in our lives for beauty. more than self-improvement, more than spiritual practices and rituals and religious attendance and study and thought. No, more room for the beautiful, because it is this invisible embrace, as the title of this book suggests, that truly holds us and gives us a life that is worth living. These times are riven with anxiety and uncertainty, O'Donoghue says, given the current global crisis. In the hearts of people, some natural ease has been broken. It is astounding how this has reached deep into the heart. Would you agree? Our trust in the future has lost its innocence. We know now that anything can happen from one minute to the next. The traditional structures of shelter are shaking. And this was written many years ago. Their foundations revealed to be no longer stone, but sand. We're suddenly thrown back on ourselves. Politics, religion, and economics, and the institutions of family and community all have become abruptly unsure. At first, it sounds completely naive to suggest that now might be the time to invoke and awaken beauty. Because, why? There is nowhere else to turn. We are desperate. Furthermore, it is because we have so disastrously neglected the beautiful that we now find ourselves in this terrible crisis. What excellent words. Could it be that beauty will save the world? I've been giving a lot of thought to my own life recently and over the last few years, as I've been experiencing quite a demolition and a dismantling of everything that my life was, or I thought it was, and I thought I was. And at one juncture, I found myself asking the question about how I would move forward, the steps that I would take. If the world really needed another poet, for I am a poet and I am a mystic and I'm a spiritual teacher, but a crossroads lays before me of which way to go. And the question was strong in my heart: do we really need another poetry book, another poem, another perspective from a mystic, one who is a nature child, one who is at one with the beautiful in this world? And I sought hard for the answer, and the answer was yes. Because I do believe that beauty will save the world. Because we have run out of options and nothing else seems to be working. And it is this call of the beautiful and a return to beauty that I believe will anchor us home in a more aligned state of being that was originally intended for us as humankind. Elsie de Wolfe has a wonderful quote that you may have heard: I'm going to make everything around me beautiful. That will be my life. Imagine if a billion, a million even, people decided that they were going to make everything around them beautiful, and that would be their life, that would be their purpose. What a high calling indeed. I wrote recently that it's time to come up higher. And I mean really come up higher. Many of you here, I wrote, are here as priest, priestess portals, receptors and conveyors of divine movement and inspiration, skilled alchemists, healers, spiritual midwives, and conduits of supernatural empowerment and transformational word, Logos. And it's time to raise your heart sights. It's time to limit access to things that fog your frequency and muddy your priestly garments, your sacred calling. It's time to operate permanently now at refined levels of consciousness and in Kingdom of God awareness. I even said if you're single, it could be time to stop putting even a single toe in the proverbial pig pen of matrix mating methods. It's time once and for all to stop settling for connections that require you to shelve your gifts and dim your light. You really are equipped with transcending co-creative technology by which you can magnetize people and situations into your world that are fitting for the God vessel that you are, and I'm going to add here, fitting for the call of beauty that you are hearing in your soul. So come up higher. Use your technology with unwavering commitment. Collaborate with like energy for a high quality yield. Cultivate and maintain a sacred environment. Be a sacred space. Do your sacred work. And allow space for beauty, for the true beauty, for the beautiful in your life, to nurture your sacred, your unique, your authentic soul. Beauty. What is it that we're waiting for? What is it that we seek? Is it not beauty with her luminous glow, stirring our innermost being with movement so subtle? It cannot be comprehended, so passionate. We're changed by the breath. We cannot grasp, thankfully, something we cannot grasp and put our sticky fingers over and monetize. We cannot grasp this breath that changes us. Will we make room for this that we truly are seeking? Is it not the honesty of her touch, her caress in the center of our dulled, tired eyes that wakens us within and makes us erect and open to heaven, to love, to what is real? And it is she who patiently waits for us to rise from our knees and our downtrodden wanderings, to look around and find her over our shoulder, before our faces, above the skies, in our bodies, and beneath our very feet. That which we seek is seeking us. To brush her ethereal hand o'er our lips and cause us to drink from a source unseen, and allow the honey of ecstasy to fill us. And though so fleetingly we sup from beauty's grace, when we do, we are smitten. We're immersed in satisfaction. There is a life that is empowered and fulfilled from the inside out, and this is my passion and this is my work, to help you discover that within yourself and nurture that. So please do reach out to me at michellefrancesca.com. The link is on this video and below, and I would love to be of support to you in your journey in finding that empowerment and that fulfillment from within, not dependent on external circumstances. I hope that you are hearing the call of beauty to your soul, and I hope that you will follow and make room for beauty in your world. Thanks for being here. See you next time.